0, 1, 2, 3. Let's get started.
That's real good.
Stopping me.
Hello? Why did it do that? Why did it do that? It went to an entirely different audio source. One I don't even use. It just picked one. It's just like if we hit play and decides we're just going to pick one and see how that works. I wasn't muted. I wasn't muted. It was muted. I wasn't muted. It was. Anyway, how are you beautiful tubers doing tonight? Last night was a heck of a time, wasn't it? It was a good show. So I was saying, hey, Peggy, how you doing? I saw you today. Didn't have a chance to say hi. I was over. Baker the trial I was watching. It's in the same courtroom that Karen Reed stuff's happening, and the the German guy, he's like, oh yes, he's defending himself. His wife has passed away, and they're claiming he did it. And he's like, oh, we had a good relationship. We talked all the time. We watched TV together. We had lots of sex. He's like, what? What is? Okay, so we're there. Hey Kelly, how you doing? Let's get this started. Hey, 80s Music Man, what's happening? Psychosocial, how you doing? What's happening? Miami Spies, what's going on? Hey, look, Brogan Baker stopped by here. Tell that weird Dutch person not to mess with Kevin. There's two things I can't stand. People that are intolerant of other people's cultures and the Dutch. Beth, how are you doing? Of course, D for 2. Trash Night. Jar, what's going on? How Plummet changed his fit after getting rocked by a T-Rex. Yes, it's me before dark. Well, I just sitting here. And also, I think tomorrow I'm going to do the 7-hour stream. And so I was trying to work on that. I've been working on these videos. It's a long story. Doing a lot of stuff. T-Rex wants to know, hang on here, what is your least favorite race? Well, the Daytona 500 where Dale Earnhardt hit the wall. Least favorite race. Horrible. Love you, Dale! Why the Monaco Grand Prix Formula One cars are so big nowadays, but the whole race is basically qualifying because there is no overtaking because the streets of Monaco aren't wide enough. And also, isn't Monaco Grand Prix not the name of a video game? I'd like to go to Monaco, wouldn't you? That'd be a fun time. Thank you, T-Rex. T-Rex got really big into Indy cars this year. He's from Indiana. He's an Indianapolis kid. He did it. He's never enjoyed the racing until he started becoming a truck driver for a racing team. Now he's around cars all the time. Scott Messerschmidt, how you doing? Oh my gosh, now let's see here. Kim Farnham, how are you? Hey, let's go. What's happening? Drama City, here I come. Yeah, hey, whoa, guys, drama from Lesko last night in the goat barn. He was just banning people left and right. I think he got possessed by a little Dottie. That's what happened. She's mean, man. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Hey, Stylin', how you doing? Yvonne, what's happening? Hey, Kimberly Ray, how are you? BTM Marine. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I know. I was muted. It wasn't me that did it. They did. Hey, Jeff Grady. It wasn't me that's muted. It's them. Daphne Moore, how are you? I'm just embarrassed when I get to the part where everybody's like, I'm muted. I wasn't muted. Lady Sky, how are you doing? It is classic Dottie, isn't it? I saw Hot Damn Elaine today. I went in and I said, hey, I was told about her chickens and everything. But anyway, it's like Easter chicks. What's for Easter dinner? Goats on the menu. Hey, Kelly's a new member. Awesome, Kelly. Kelly, if you go to the member section, there should be a little tab up there that says members in the members thing. And click the link. Should be a Discord link. And I'll put up a new one just to double sure because I don't remember what happened about the whole had a problem with Discord. I don't remember when I put a new link up there. But anyway, hit the link. Come on into Discord. It's lame right now. But we do have an active live chat. So you can come in, hang out with people, meet new friends, sit around, chit-chat, have a good time. It's going to be a long night for Let's Go! Oh, you're just northwest of Daytona. That's awesome, Jeff. That's Steve Gosney was from there. Of course, we got a lot of people down there. Mind of Monsters. I love her, man. She's got a good channel. Let's see. I think I'm caught up. Zach! When Zach's here, we're caught up. Hey, Carla, FKR, what's going on? Oh my gosh, look at that avatar. Look at that puppy. Oh my gosh, that's such a cute puppy. Oh, you're in Orlando. Oh, cool. Cool. That's not far from Danielle. And we got a lot of people, that whole area right there. T-Rex is down there a lot. T-Rex, matter of fact, here. Hey, Angie, how you doing? Kelly, have you, are you familiar with, are you familiar with this place? That's T-Rex right there. You're trying to get it right to the villages. Isn't that great? He's a good guy. He's a good sport. He does not like the Monaco race. Anyway, guys. So, yeah, it got hot in here. I turned the AC off, and now it's getting hot in here. Hey, honey, I turned the AC off. Well, it's 44 degrees. It's 50 right now. What happened? It's supposed to be short season. What's going on? I can't stand this. I can't handle it. Anyway, last night was a good conversation. I'm very thankful that Broken Baker came in. You drove it down before it. Oh yes, that's been content around here. Big content around here. We think it's funny. A lot of people don't know about it. That's the great part. What's happening now? I just got a beep. Did I miss something? Am I good to go? Are we good? Hey, you got family lives there. Hey, you know what? When you're there, you're family. Just like Olive Garden. Anyway, guys, the whole Karen Reed deal, it's become something. I didn't realize it. But anyway, first of all, let me throw out a few caveats here before we get started. Well, Well, hang on. Let me tell you a little bit about the day. You guys, anybody here familiar with the Delphi murders? Have you seen that? Yeah, it's crazy stuff. I woke up to the interrogation of is it Richard Allen? Is that the guy who got convicted? And I was just like, I want to go live. I want to go live right now. Why do I want to go live? Because I want to watch that. I'm interested in the interrogation, right? But I was like, I want to watch it with, if I'm going to watch it, might as well watch it with y'all. And then I didn't because I didn't know. I don't know circus clown, crime clown, whatever. The person who got, hey, yeah, I'm a biker. What is happening, bud? You're eating. Well, that's cool, man. That's cool. I'm glad you're back to eating. He took a sabbatical from eating. Some people call it a fast. But Yamaha biker, he's a Marine. He's doing an experiment where at his age, he wants to be able to successfully complete boot camp again. It's going to be cool. He's going to video the whole thing. He's going to go on his channel. Check him out. I have a story. Stuff. I don't know Doink except for, I thought Doink died in WWF, whatever it's called, WWE, T-Rex. Anyway, yeah, the Delphi stuff. So, man, you're working up to solid food. Wait, are you being serious? I don't know if you're being serious or not, because I never am. He came in for like 2 interviews. It's crazy. I didn't know this. And no, okay, so I did a little bit about the Delphi stuff when I did true crime. And that's why I kind of been interesting because it was so crazy. It was so weird. And then all of a sudden they're just like, hey, Susan, how you doing? Then all of a sudden one day they're just like, hey, we got this guy. And I'm like, there are so many, you know what? I forgot to put hang on a second. Do not disturb. There we go. Until tomorrow morning. Yes. No more disturbing me. Anyway, thank you, T for 2. It was so weird. In the Delphi thing, there was like this whole separate rabbit hole that people were going down about child trafficking and everything. It's scary. It's not good. I don't like it. I mean, and we're talking about like some deep stuff. They interviewed a lot of these people that they found out. Like, I think some people got convicted for it and whatnot. It's just really crazy. But anyway, they got the guy in Delphi, evidently. They think they did. And so, hey, Zach, I forget hit it too. And, but anyway, yeah, the interrogation came out today, and which I always think those are funny because whenever I see somebody go in without an attorney, you know what I think? They're guilty. Because the type of people that do that, a lot of them have that narcissistic personality, and they think they're smarter than the cops. That's what it is. It's always, hey, Lola, the good dog, what's up? They're always Odinism. Yeah, that was a theory somewhere. When the defense turns, I forget. There was so much stuff that happened in that. It's just wild. I didn't know the trial ended up going on. I didn't know because they put a gag order on it. And I was like, what? There's a conviction today. It really sideswiped me. That messes with you. But anyway, I found the video that I had done. You guys know who Daryl Brooks is? Daryl Brooks drove a car through a parade in Wisconsin, a Christmas parade, and he became famous for the trial where he represented himself, and he's a sovereign citizen. Well, I'm hoping to be able to interview somebody that has a connection to that area. We're going to see how this works out. Anyway, I found the Daryl Brooks is your favorite pro site, Kelly? Well, I found the video I did live. It was one of my first live streams. I hadn't even started FNL yet. Y'all, it is so bad. It is so bad. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't even know why I did it. But it's for mature audiences only. And I did not put that up there. YouTube yanked it. But anyway, So our thing that we're gonna do, the Delphi stuff. That's how my days start off. Delphi, and then I started doing a lot of videos. Man, I found a lot of. I got some videos I didn't even know I took. I forgot about them, and I'm trying to organize them all. There's a lot of them that will pertain to Dollywood. Those of you, we're doing FNL, the FNL Dollywood, right? So it's June 4th, 5th, and 6th. We all get together and hang out. Dollywood is kind of like that central location, right? Everybody wants to go ride roller coasters, all this cool stuff. And then the 6th, we have a live Friday Night Live. And so that's cool. We're going to probably meet in a bar and do the whole thing live. Oh, so I just read what Kelly wrote about Sarah Boone. Anyway, yeah, Sarah Boone, she's in your neck of the woods, Kelly. So I've been doing videos today, and so it's all 8K, 360 videos. Man, that stuff, it's wild uploading that because it takes so long. Like I stripped everything off the computer. And I say stripped everything off. It was all about the internet, and so I had I had just straight pipeline to Google going, and it worked. I got a bunch of videos up, and so I'll be releasing those over the next few days. But oh man, I wish they allowed dogs in the park. I wish they did. Maybe like service animals. Hey, Amy, how you doing? Natalie. Oops, hold on. I almost hit you. Oh gosh, Natalie, I almost hit you in timeout by accident. That's what Lesko was doing last night in Valhalla. If you were there to watch goats, he was putting you on the train out. You couldn't do it. Anyway, all right, guys. So what I want to do is tonight is same video. Son of a gun. I didn't bring my earbuds. Same video as last night, but the Yellow Cottage did a reply to Baker. And he covers it, and he talks about what he was thinking, what he was doing. So here's the thing. Broken Baker, everybody knows he's my friend. All right, he's gonna be coming here for FNL Dollywood. It's gonna be great. All right. No, oh, is it Dane? No, it's Danes. Wait, hold on. Where's where are the Dutch from? Let's go. That's no Dutch. That's the thing. I don't know. Anyway, oh hey Jamie, how you doing? So he did the whole thing. I want to cover it and go over the things. You know, like his. Let me go back. Baker's a friend of mine. Okay, I'm going to try to look at this very objectively, and it's good to see what that person thinks. All right, it's just going to see the other side of the coin. I mean, we all know. If you're over here, you know. I mean, it doesn't matter what Baker does. I mean, he's in the right. If he were wrong, I would tell him, but man, I think you're wrong on this. But I want to make a video about it. Okay, and I'm not. I don't want to do videos. I don't want to get into a drama thing or anything. But it's just because Baker is a good friend of mine, and that I found this. I was like, whoa, holy cow! Because he has been talking about this for so long. I don't know who Kevin is. I don't know who Yellow Cottage Tales are. I don't know. I know the name Karen Reed, and I've forgotten John O'Keefe's name. I don't know anybody else's name in this case. I'm not paying any attention to it. Somebody will tell me when the good parts show up. So, hey, Volpe Fox, how you doing? But what I want to do is, I think this is a really good. Let me get my earbuds. I'll be right back. We'll talk about this. It's gonna be good. Oh, that's Lego Me right there, by the way. In case you don't know, Lego Me. That's Lego Me. Coming in, buddy? Come on. You can right on here. It's warm. All right. Brown dog wanted to come in. He wanted to say hi. And now that he's here and I close the door, I don't think he wants to be here. Hey, bud. You got a big old thing you can go lay. All right. There you go. Connected. Yep. All right. Let's see here. Good boy. Let's see. Where's the share screen? And boom. There he is. Okay. So let me get this. Is this how I want this? Or I want like that. That's how I want it. And let me move myself over. So this looks like. Wow, that's a lot better. Hey, wait a second here. Take that off where it says live. Boom. Okay. So, hang on. What's the? Do I have this stuff here? No, hang on a second. Let me do this. I want to be fair to everybody and everything. Let's do. No, that's not it. What's the name of that book? Into the Storm? Hang on a second. Is that it? Into the Storm? No. Karen Reed? No. What's the? Yeah, no, the name of the storm. Storm of Suspicion. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, that's funny. It doesn't pop up. Why doesn't it pop up on Amazon anymore? Oh, well. All right. So this is. We'll just go. So this is Kevin. What's his name? Kevin Pleskin. Yellow Cottage. I don't know these people, y'all. I'm sorry. I don't do this. Kelly, I can't believe you braved the cottage. Well, Kelly, I'll tell you what. I saw you came on. I was like, well, this is interesting. And so this video, okay, this response is what got me to do the one I did yesterday. And I didn't think Broken Baker was going to come on because I asked him the night before. So what happened was, talking about Discord. Sundays after the live show, after the members only show, I always go to Discord. Baker came in, and we got to talk to him a little bit about the doing this interview. And so I was like, man, I really would like to cut over the interview. I was like, I'd love to have you on and talk about it. And he's like, I don't want to hear myself talk and stuff. I was like, I understand, man. Don't worry about it. Besides, times are weird and stuff. Get your rest. So he surprised me yesterday by coming in. But I'd watched this video, parts of it, and I was like, man, it's interesting. You get to see the other side. I don't want to say anything because I don't want to sway anybody one way or the other. All right, Plevin, the dude who needs a bra. Well, let's see how Plevin's doing. Let's see. Let's go ahead and hit play on this. Plevin. Whoops, don't have any volume, do we?
How this works. Listen,
Hold on. Why isn't there any volume? No, that's why.
through this last year with Lauren De La Cruz.
All right, so this is
right?
him
I know how it works.
talking about the stream he did with
And
Baker.
She came in with her list of questions, perhaps prepared for her by Turtle, and rattled off all her questions, wouldn't let me ask her anything. And then suddenly, when she got to the end of her list, said, "Oh, I'm sorry, my computer is running out of power.
Oh,
I'm
hey,
have to go
Shane, how you
by."
doing?
That really happened.
Is it really? My computer went out last night, but that's because of the storm.
So I wasn't going to let that happen again. And I
Because
told
of
him
Oscar De La Hoya, or
before
whatever
we were
he
live.
said?
I said, "Look," I said, "I want to have a discussion about the evidence." He said, "No, you're coming on just to discuss the book.
Hey,
That's all
Haley
we agreed
Mouse,
to."
what's up?
And I said, "Well, I'm going to tell you right now, just
So, hey,
being upfront.
Pharaoh! How
In
you
the
doing,
show
babe?
when we're live, I'm going to answer any question you have for me, any question. However,
Oh, hippie
I am
wig.
at the end of my answer
Hey,
going
that's
to
a
add
cool
my
name.
own
Cool
question."
dog.
And he says, "Well, I don't have to answer it." I said, "No, you don't. But if you want your audience to see you not answering my questions," and he's like, "Well, I don't want to be getting into the nitty." No, I said, "I'm just going to basic stuff, GPS, things like that. I want to know what your answers are." Now, I actually, the way it turned out, it was
Now, I'll tell you, so Baker had told me about this and says his whole thing is to talk about the book. He's like, I don't want to talk about theory. Because, a lot of people talk about the conspiracies around Camden. Is it Camden? Camden, Massachusetts. And, hey, Ashley Loveless, how you doing? I can't tell if plebin is a straight insult or... Dude. Oh, well, hey, Ashley, how you doing? Welcome to the show. I can tell we're going to get along. I don't know why. I like the name Ashley. I like it. That's why. Oh, gee, you guys. Y'all crack me up sometime. Hey, Dreama 2023. He literally let a broken baker put words in Baker's mouth even after he listened back. He's like, okay, well, do me a favor then. Point it out when we get there. Baker, though, beforehand, this is what he is. And this is, I know this stuff from what Baker's told me for a while now. He just wants to talk to the guy about the book because there's indiscrepancies in the book that he finds and he wants to ask him about it. And like, for instance, like the date, okay, like the date thing. He's like, you have it wrong in the book. I don't know how you can take it serious. And he says like there's a section where you, how's it? There's like a what if type section where Karen is driving in the car talking to herself and he fills in all the stuff, which is fiction, right? And that's what Baker wanted to know. He's like, how do we separate this? Like, these were the things he was telling me. He's, of course, you guys know I don't remember anything, and you guys also know I don't pay attention most of the time. So, yeah, it's all that good stuff. Hey, Riddy Ward, how you doing? Cool horse. I'm supposed to ask how many hands is your horse? I think 2 hands. You got to hold on 2 hands, but that's just me. Hey, Cloud Illusions, how are you doing? You are an aggressive one. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, how do you really feel, Ashley? All right, let's go.
was really not a good interview, and I only managed to ask him about what he said about the GPS that showed that John's phone didn't go in there. And I'm not going to do a reaction video to all this, so we may not even get to that. His answer was utterly absurd. And it's the kind of answer you expect when people don't have an answer. It was mishmash. And so it was really strange.
He's
He
not
tried
supposed to
to
have
say,
an
well,
answer.
you weren't in the military. Were you, Kevin? I said, no. He goes, well, I was. And the military wants to have more accurate GPS and than is reserved for citizens. I said, that fine. That has nothing, we don't need to know. We don't need to know to within a foot where John was. That doesn't dispute the fact that his GPS, it's not like they were scrambling. It's not like these programs for GPS are designed to help guide your car. They're not going to be deliberately scrambling it so you're going to get lost. But what I explained to him, the answer was simple. I said, I don't have to get into the technical weeds on whatever kind of gibberish you're talking about here. I didn't use the word gibberish. I was respectful. I just said, why didn't the defense bring this up?
Respectful.
Why didn't the defense bring up this stuff about the military saying this? Because they didn't. At the end of the day, the defense did not really challenge the accuracy of the locality.
Okay, right now, like, I don't understand what we're trying to get to. Okay, we're talking about your book, and you're saying, I mean, Baker's asking about GPS. I guess like he says something about it in his book. Then this Plevin here, Kevin. I mean, I'll have to be respectful. Is it Plevin or is it Kevin? I really don't know his name. I can't keep up. So he is sitting here saying, well, why didn't the defense bring it up? Well, I mean, how's Baker supposed to know that? He's not the defense attorney. It's not. I'll tell you exactly why they didn't bring it up. That wasn't part of their strategy. I don't know what their strategy was, but it seemed to have worked, right? I mean, she didn't get convicted. Having the another trial, that's weird. Okay, and usually mistrials, they don't result in a second trial. Usually they give them up. But hey, Yodel's here. How you doing, babe? What's happening? How is California? Yes, he called everyone morons. I thought about putting on my name as Confederacy of Dunce. I'm part of the Confederacy of Dunces. That's what it is. Confederacy of Dunces. By the way, that's a cult classic book from the 70s, I think. One of those weird. I think you got to take LSD to understand it. Maybe Plevin's read it.
Of GPS data. They tried to suggest that it was corrected. It was connected to an inaccurate clock, which was absurd. GPS data depends on very accurate clocking. But the defense really didn't challenge the accuracy of this. And there's no way to challenge it. And so what he tried to suggest was
Carly,
not
you
effective
dummy.
at all. And he had no answer to it. Let's just play the beginning of it and
We're
see
dummies.
if we can tell where this
Idiots,
interview
morons,
went off the
whatever it
rails.
was.
Was it my fault? Was it his fault?
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whoever you are, what, if any, you might be. And welcome to this book club. It's my second book club. First one was on my own release on my children's book.
All right. If you're going to do a book club, I don't think your own book really counts. Am I wrong about this? I mean, a book club is reviewing other people's books.
It's a joke, man. It's
And
satire.
so the first book you're really reviewing is mine. And let's face it, I'm not saying the book is good or not, but he clearly he's covered this case from one side harshly.
Well,
ridiculous.
good job, Becky. By the way, Becky,
I don't know how long, a long time.
love the bald
There was
eagle.
no chance
Okay.
that he was going to read
T
this
for two
book
is a big Eagle fan here, by the way.
with
And
an open
also-
mind. That was not even a possibility, but that's okay. I'm not
Sorry, when I'm not paying attention to something attracts me to it, and I care more about that. Sorry, Plevin. Becky, have you seen the bald eagle baby nest? If you guys remind me, I'll show it later. Oh, it's a live cam. I love this thing. Okay. Anyway, welcome to the chat. I love you guys. I love all you new, everybody new here. Hey, if it doesn't cost you anything, subscribe, hit that notification, come hang out. Broken Baker hangs out here. Isn't that weird?
Not necessarily. Honestly,
It's a different
if
Baker.
his job, if he was tasked by the FKR mob to read the book, come up with criticism, and ask me those questions, that's great. I would have no problem with that. As long as you're going to be accurate about what you're portraying, what you read.
Today we have Kevin from Yellow Cottage Tales on to talk about his book on his view of the Karen Reed case. Or would you claim is it, I've been reading it and I've told you, and you people who follow us on Twitter know we don't always agree on everything, mostly not. Is it meant to be a fact book? Is this going to be, okay, I'm going to look up what did Higgins say? What did Karen Reed say in the case? Or is it more a a fictionalized retelling of the characters around the case?
It's a really awkwardly worded
Well, yeah,
question.
well.
So, but I have to be understanding. He's not a professional. That question was so awkwardly worded that it's not unreasonable to say he's just not good at this, but maybe he'll get better, right? But that was a really, it's not a fact book. If he's read the book, you're trying to bring someone through the journey that I went through of trying to weigh evidence in this case and of the personal journey of what I went through on the case. That's all in there. I think what he's trying to say, but he's too awkward to do it, is that did you report facts or did you make stuff up? And I think that's what he's trying to say. I'm not 100% sure the way that question was so awkward, but I'm not sure why you would use the term fictionalized, because the fictionalized part of the book
Go ahead.
was I did take a stab, and
No.
later in the book,
I hit the right button sooner or later.
from Karen's point of view.
Okay, wait a second. I'm sorry. I didn't catch all this before. So he's talking about his journey and stuff. I mean, it's like he's like a hobbit here. He's going on. He's looking for the ring. It's saying. I mean, Baker worded it weirdly, and then later on, we all know he talks about English not being Baker's first language. You gotta take it with a grain of salt. I know. This guy's probably having some confliction with that because he's trying to do the whole law thing, and lawyers take things literally, but they also take things with great hyperbole. So it's a hard path to go down. Those of you that are new here, I am not an attorney. I am. I left the world of law. To do this. I went to law school to become a YouTuber. That's what my new thing I was going to tell people. It's easier that way. But no, I do have a background in law and politics before the pandemic forced us all to take new paths, and I am enjoying this one. So that is my background to you, those of you that are new here. I do tell fart jokes on YouTube and occasionally spit out something that's halfway intelligent. Sometimes.
Chapter where I did a speculative chapter on from Paul O'Keefe's point of view, from getting the call
Why is
that
that
morning.
so low?
Him and his wife are in bed, and they get the call that John's in the hospital, and that he's in a bad situation. But everything else is meticulously researched, factually accurate. I followed every part of this case in this hearing for a long time. Now, we can disagree on the meaning of facts, but everything in there is factual. And one of the things that we see in this case, and I don't follow your channel enough I don't follow it, so I don't know. So I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt that you want to focus on facts too. But
Yes.
we have to understand that it's the job of a defense team to try to manufacture doubt by making everything seem odd and putting out a lot of things that may not actually be true. And people in the public, everyone, should have the common sense to understand that that's the job of defense. And we've got this here nonstop in this case, from library gaps in the library surveillance that didn't exist, non-human hairs, the idea that the feds couldn't, in good conscience, allow this trial to continue, the John's clothing being in the back of Michael Proctor's car for 6 weeks, on and on and on. I don't know why we in the public are so gullible to this stuff, except that there is sometimes a conspiracy theory that we just really, 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 it hits us in a way that we want to believe it. So we stop looking at the evidence and stop looking at the official explanations. I wanted to try to correct that in this book. And I'm sorry about the long answer, Baker.
No, it's fine. I will also give a long answer to your long answer, because what you're saying is inaccurate. You said,
okay.
That's so Baker. That's so European.
No.
Those of you that are Baker fans, Broken Baker. So that's a joke. The no thing. I have to clarify this real quick. Whenever I say, "Hey Baker, is it?" and I start to ask him a question about anything in Europe, his answer, he always starts off any answer, no matter how intelligent or how long it is. He goes,
No.
So he's like, I'm like, Baker, do you guys have wet water over there? Or is it like gas or is it solid? What's water in Denmark? And he's like, no, it is all of them. So and now once I told him that, he got a little, he's like, he's conscious of it. I'm like, dude, it's like a trademark. Don't stop. And T for two, thank you so much for the gifted memberships. Y'all, if you're a new member, there's a membership link in the membership section. Takes you to Discord. Come in, come hang out, come and chit chat with us. And you know what? Let's get this started.
Wiggle, 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 wiggle.
Whoa.
Wiggle, 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 wiggle.
Start.
I'm sexy and I know it.
Thank you, T. Hey, Santiago Garcia Jr., how you doing? All right, let me, yes. You guys know what I'm talking about, don't you? Look, no. And he's like, I said, you say no to everything I say. And he said, no, I don't. No, I do not. I'm like, so, it's the greatest catchphrase. It's so great. Oh my gosh.
This is the kind of stuff. All right, so I'll make this easy for people in free care and read that are looking to trigger me. This kind of foolish use of words is what will trigger me. All right, so first of all, he didn't let me finish my answer here. I apologized for the long answer, and I said, but let me just finish with this. But you could see the whole time he was sitting there. He didn't really want to hear a word I was saying. He couldn't even sit still in the chair. He's shaking back and forth. He can't wait to jump in. So he's not even going to let me have my initial answer here, even though he's basically implied in his opening question that my book is full of fiction. So I think in fairness, you got to let me answer. Now, he right out of the gate, he interrupts me to say that what I just said was inaccurate. Well, that's a very specific word. Words mean things. Now, if you're from Denmark and English isn't your first language, that's not an excuse because you're reviewing a book that is written in English. So if you're going to say that those claims that I just made about the defense, if you're going to claim that my statement was inaccurate, you now have to show which one of my statements was inaccurate and why. That's a common sense obligation. And when people break those ordinary rules of logic, it triggers me. It does. I have to admit it. So let's see if he does that.
That defense is saying things that's not true. Did you have a legal consultant on your book?
I'm not answering questions like that.
Why?
Everything I said in there is factual. There is no library gap. There is no non-human hair. The hair was matched definitively through DNA to John. All right. So, at some point,
what
you have to recognize
what you stated is wrong. If the defense is lying to the court, you saw what Bev said with that payment to the ARCA guys 3 weeks after.
This is the second time I saw you guys have put about the language. Baker knows, I think it's 6 languages. I forget how he says it, like a German, which is weird because I think German and Dutch or Denmarkian would be a lot alike. But it's of course it's Danish. He knows what's it in German. He knows how to. It's like he knows how to speak it but not write it, or there's a little caveat to it he throws in there. French is one of them. I think Italian is one, and of course English. And then he speaks. He knows this jacked up redneck speak I talk. So, but yeah, it is a hard language. So, there it is. Sorry.
After. It's going to be interesting. I hope you will, of course, agree that she has to.
So let's see if he actually does. So I said that the non-human hair, I gave that example, the gap in the library video, and how they claimed that the feds were not going to allow this trial to proceed in all good conscience. That's 3. And the 4th thing I mentioned was how the clothing was in Trooper Proctor's car for 6 weeks. Those are all things that they've said or tried to imply either in a hearing or at the trial. I'm not talking about things that they put out through minions in social media. I am talking about things that the defense has said in a hearing or in the trial. And he has said that's inaccurate. But what we're going to see is, of those four things, he doesn't cite any single one as being inaccurate. So why challenge my statement as being inaccurate, and then not even tell me which part of it was inaccurate? That stuff drives me crazy because it's so logically foolish.
To admonish Brennan Monday over the lies about the Sallyport camera that we learned from the audit hadn't been changed.
Okay, so see how ineffective this is? I mean, I don't really understand how this guy has a channel. What he wants to do is say, okay, well, maybe the defense has lied about some things or made some misrepresentations or put out some falsehoods, but so has the defense. Look at Brennan. And then he tries to talk about the Sallyport. Now, again, if you want to point out, if in your view, Brennan or Lally have made deceptive statements, go ahead. Use that as your argument. Say, well, okay, the
he's
defense
not
has said
arguing,
things, but so
bud.
was the prosecution.
This is the thing. I don't think you know what you were there for.
Retort in an argument.
He wants to talk about your book.
But if you're going to say that I just said something inaccurate, you have now just taken an obligation on yourself to now tell me what it is that is inaccurate. But he didn't say one thing about anything. He didn't. Not one thing that I said did he even try to attempt to say was inaccurate. He went to the Brennan thing. Now, as far as I have seen, there is no evidence that Brennan lied about anything, including the Sallyport. The Sallyport video has been outlined. I mean, I don't.
It makes
want
me
to
always look over there when I see people say that.
I try to
Wait a
mention
second.
that, if we see a little bit later, the judge has already responded to that. So and very effectively. That there was no lie, there was no meaningfully relevant lie. You had this kind of sloppiness where the Sallyport, the old system there, and some of the other cameras were recording in mirrored image, inverted image. But now they have submitted evidence that shows that this was going on from at least a month before. They took video from a month before John's death, and it was also inverted. So it's not some kind of a trick. I'm not sure what he was talking about here because he was very clumsy in trying to explain it.
I have no idea
but
what
he may have been trying to say about he probably was trying to refer to the fact that there were certain Sallyport videos that were not turned over in a timely way to the defense. Now, that has nothing to do with Brennan.
Yeah.
Nothing. Brennan has turned over
He does.
to the defense everything as soon as he gets it. Brennan's a defense lawyer, and he takes that stuff seriously. And so I'm sure the fact that some other piece of video emerged in late January this year, that frustrates Brennan as much as anybody, especially since that video was completely irrelevant. That video didn't show any most of the videos didn't show any images of the right taillight because of the angle that it was coming in. And the ones that did just showed grainy and really didn't show anything. So it was completely irrelevant. The judge pointed this out. Brennan has pointed this out. There's no reason why this dude can't follow that. But I didn't see the reason to get lost into the weeds about the Sallyport because what his statement was that I was inaccurate, and he didn't address that. I'm not aware of any lies by Hank Brennan. And first of all,
Hank Brennan said that the camera was changed. That's why they called in. That's in the motion to dismiss.
God,
It
bothers
came
me
up
it says
yesterday
expert
during the
right on his
audit,
forehead.
and again, Brennan has multiple times made misstatements he had to correct the record of. So,
these guys, they always think that they're not accurate with their words. So when you say lies, and he didn't say, I don't think he said it right there, but too often they use the word lies when they're really just talking about something that a misstatement that is unintentional and has to be corrected later. And he's so clumsy here, he can't even bring it up himself. So I have to bring it up for him. And I say, so what you're talking about is when Brennan said in court that the feds were the ones that turned over to the prosecution the emails between the defense and the ARCA. And then 10 minutes later, after the break, Brennan corrected the record, which he did do. And for some reason, these people ignore that. It's really bizarre. You go into, I mentioned that in a comment on his chat, and people are like, you lie. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like you have to show us exactly where Brennan corrected the record. Look, it's a matter of fact. So just go back and watch it. It's crazy.
But
okay,
I understand that you believe.
Baker, I have to insist on just one distinction in language, since you are someone that reviews books. One of the things that people commonly confuse on the Free Karen Read side, including Nick Rocco, is the difference between a lie and a mistake. All right. So, for instance, Hank Brennan mistakenly said that the emails between ARCA and the defense were given to them by the feds. But 10 minutes later in court, he corrected that mistake. So it's not a lie.
Incorrect.
He says that's incorrect, but it's simply a fact that he did.
No.
Whether it was 10 minutes or 12 minutes later. So he continuously uses these very misleading and imprecise and frankly dishonest words.
Okay, so this guy, he said misspoke, and now he's saying like these dishonest words. Later on, I want you to pay attention. If I remember this correctly, he calls Baker a liar several times. And I'm like, man, you're kind of loose with calling liars. Like, I mean, for me, like, being called a liar is not a good thing. That's I mean, I've seen people want to fight over that. And a lie, remember, a lie is a misstatement with the intent to deceive. Okay? Not a misstatement, it's a statement with the intent to deceive. You want to say something that makes somebody else rely upon it to do something, that some of, I mean, it's just for them to rely upon it. I'm sorry. I got ahead of myself and I forgot where I was going. But Baker, he's not lying or anything, and it's weird. It's okay to have a misstatement, says Plevin here, but it's not. But yeah, if you don't agree with me, you're a liar. I don't know. It's a little nuance that bothered me.
Beb blew up, went to her chambers, came back, yelled at the defense. That's when he changed his statements. Again.
But the bottom line is he changed the statements. We don't know. It's never been told who corrected Hank. Somebody did. So either when they took that break, because Bev did get upset, either somebody from the defense came over and said, hey, you got that wrong. We sent you that. Or it's possible that Lally or McLaughlin, assistant prosecutors, said, hey, no, that's not quite right. The defense sent this over. But he's calling me that, again, I'm incorrect. But what I said was not only correct, it was in no way misleading. I said that Hank Brennan made a false statement, then learned that it was inaccurate during the break. It was like a 10-minute break, and then corrected it as soon as he could.
Because he's a saint.
Fact-based. But let's not start yelling early.
Where do you base that? Where do you base that on? Where do you get that from?
I watched.
That's not in evidence.
I watched the court. I watched the court proceeding. He stated
there
that
was a camera
the
in
feds,
the judge's chambers.
No, that's not what I said. He claimed that he had gotten.
We got to know out of him. Okay, so what's the judge's chambers? That was never brought up. I mean, where are we going here with this?
You know what happened in Bev's chambers. I mean, this is the problem with this case. Is people just imagine.
Kevin, I was really trying not to.
Sorry about the volume. I didn't realize the volume wasn't all the way up. Someone just texted me to turn it up. So sorry about that, guys. Hopefully you can hear it better now. I didn't have the volume on this YouTube turned all the way up.
Plevin, it was almost like you were talking into an echo chamber.
Because I was actually planning of having a little clip whenever you made one of your little strawmans, because you're not honest debater. I never said he went into.
He's just filled this entire beginning of this interview with dishonest statements, but I'm the one that's dishonest. It's stunning. It's almost like they live in an alternate reality.
What did he say there?
You just lied. You just said.
Call him a liar.
Sorry, Plevin, I have to cut you off when you lie. I said he stated she went to her chambers, came back, and he changed his statement. That's what I said. Okay, you don't have to talk over me.
Go replay it back. You said he was admonished in the chambers, and there's no
Nope.
proof of that.
No, I never said.
All right, so I was wrong on that. I did not. I misheard.
Wait, what?
Alternate reality. It's unbelievable. You just lied. You just said that.
Sorry, Plevin, I have to cut you off when you lie. I said he stated she went to her chambers, came back, and he changed his statement. That's what I said. Okay, you don't have
You
to
said-
talk
no, no,
over
no,
me.
Go
Listen.
replay it back. You said he was admonished in the chambers.
Yeah.
And there's no
Nope.
proof of that. You just
Nope,
made that
I
up.
never said.
All right, so I was wrong on that. I did not. I misheard that he believed that he's.
Did he just say he was wrong? Kelly, that's okay. I don't listen to myself anyway. What you do is you just turn the volume down and you read the chat. And then when you see that the chat's saying something that's interesting, you turn back up and you get into the conversation. I do it all day long. So I'm so glad to have you here, Kelly. And that was a double boomer. That was a double boom. We got the booms for the hey, sorry, I misspoke there. And we also got it for Kelly. Thank you so much.
He said that Hank Brennan was admonished in the chambers, and actually, what he said was that Judge Bev took off angry. But again, it's come on rails because we're arguing over stupid things here. Because the basic fact is,
but you don't
there's no
have to
question
be.
that
He
Hank
wanted
Brennan
to talk about your book.
made a false statement and then corrected
Wanted
it
to
on
talk
his
about
own.
statements in your book.
That's just a fact. There's no way to get around it.
Why are
We
there
don't-
two crosses back here?
What's the point of trying to say that I was incorrect?
Do you see this back here? Do you see my little cursor? Why is the T double crossed? Like a weird fat hashtag? Sorry.
Correct on that. It's factual.
Said that. That's a straw man, Kevin. I will go on from that
You
because
just made it up, dude. Dude, it's not even true. We don't know where the correction was made. It may have been a defense attorney that came over and said to Hank Brennan, hey, listen, you got this wrong. We sent you those emails, and I think that's what happened. And then he corrected it. But you're making it, you just said he got admonished in the chambers.
No,
You're
I
making
didn't
shit
say
up, and
that.
This is typical. This is classic free Karen Reed. Just make something up.
Kevin,
It's unbelievable.
if you don't want to be here because you can't,
Stop making
hand-
shit up.
Oh,
That's it. It's that
language!
simple. Just
Why are we
stick to
talking
facts. You can't
French?
do it.
Why are
I
we speaking
just
French?
did. But if you don't have any reason to be here because you just want to yell, I can do the review of your book. I told you beforehand. I know you want to antagonize.
This guy's stumbling and bumbling, and this guy does a talk show. This guy does a YouTube channel. He can barely craft together a clean sentence.
Because you want to go on Twitter.
Oh, dude. Dude, what an asshole thing to say, man. Holy cow. You just attacked. Here's the thing, bud. You're not attacking the banker because he's got 15,000 people who decided, I like this guy enough to hit subscribe. I like this guy enough that if something comes up, I want him to be in my algorithm. I want to find him when I try to find people I'm subscribed to. You know, they may not be there every day. He's not talking about stuff they want to hear. There's 3.1 million videos uploaded to YouTube every day. I loaded 6. But he has an audience, albeit it's 15,000 small. It's not like you're the Super Bowl, right? You know what, though? It's still a dedicated, he still has a dedicated audience. You shouldn't make fun of him. Thank you. You'll regret wrenching me, but I'll wreak as much havoc while it lasts. Well, you are the reason why I have 7,000 subscribers now, Rosalind. Right? And by the way, guys, please subscribe if you haven't. It doesn't cost you anything. Feeds the squirrels in my brain. It's like putting little nuts in my brain. So, hey, Krista, how you doing? And then tomorrow also, guys, I did cross 7,000. I said if I hit 7,000, I'll do a 7-hour stream. I'm going to do that tomorrow. Unless something crazy happens. Still working on the time. And I haven't sent out any invites. So check your inboxes. Or don't.
After and say, he's an
I
idiot.
just
You've
want
been
to-
calling me. Stop. I'll mute you every time you just start yelling over us. Be a grown-up man. You're 58 years old. You're at 31 years older than me. You should be able to debate
Dude, you're not looking too good for your age, I got to tell you. But
someone like me. It's not that hard. I was
interrupt
just
me
about
first.
to
I just
talk
wanna
about
put it
your book. I'm giving you an audience to talk about your book. the first thing I wanted to talk about was the cover. Is there a reason why it's not really Karen Reed related?
When he said that, I looked at this
Because
cover. I
that's
was
a
like,
selling
"Holy
point. The first
cow!"
thing you see,
I see what you're saying.
the courtroom, the papers. I just.
Oh, wait,
it's a
I
cho-
didn't see this.
So on his list of criticisms,
Hold on.
here's
second.
a rare chance.
I apologize. I did not see Kelly. I like listening to you. He is my 13th reason why. Thank you so much. You know what, guys? Let's take a little time, stretch our legs out. You know, we gotta do that. Everybody likes to dance, right? You like to dance. We like to dance. So.
Wiggle, 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 yeah. 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 Wiggle, 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 yeah.
Dude, I was hit the end stream button trying to stop that. Oh, that'd been bad. Sorry, guys, but I appreciate you. And I know. Oh, y'all like, hey, look what you got. What? What's happening?
For somebody to bang heads with someone from the other side, and his goal is to try to discredit the book, which I can respect that goal because that's his side. I'm okay with that. But you're starting out by going after the way the cover looks. As soon as he said that, I was like, oh my God, he's got nothing. The emperor has no clothes. What are you going to criticize next?
He
The
doesn't wear
font?
pants.
choice. I probably would have had to. I envisioned, because I'm writing my own book on it, a car driving off with a black blob at the side of the road. This one, I don't feel like it kind of gives you the idea what the case is about. So, is that
This looks like an AI.
the
picture.
reasoning behind it?
The publisher chose the cover. The publisher chose the title. I had nothing to do with it. The cover, I made covers and suggested them for them, which were different. And the title that I wanted to go was Into the Storm, the Karen Reed trial.
Mine
the
is
rest of
That's
Into
what
the
I keep
Triangle,
calling it. But
which
Into
is
the
funny
Storm
that,
is a book and it's a movie.
I call mine Into the Triangle.
Why
But
the
again,
triangle?
Because I call
love
it the
this.
Camden Triangle, because there's no sense, no science, no justice.
So it's like the Bermuda Triangle, or
Yeah, it's a play on the Bermuda
triangle has
Triangle.
3 points. What are the other 3 points in your triangle?
I said no sense, no science, no justice.
All right. Okay. So I thought you meant it was based on the location of Canton. Okay. No, I didn't.
No,
choose-
I don't. I
What?
know.
No.
I don't know what Camden is. It's in America. That's all I know.
What's he have to
But,
say about
no,
this?
I made it during the first trial because I felt that every time there was anything
Yes.
related to science,
Yes.
Lally would always make up. So I made this: no justice, no sense, no science.
I love how he shows
So,
his
this is
book.
my-
What do you guys think about this? Let's pause here. What do you guys think about this? Just
Okay, let's ask you guys. What do you guys think about Baker's book cover? Now, this is a true book cover. I can attest to this. I've seen this before this. And when he pulled it up, I was like, oh man, he wasn't messing with me. I forget that Baker doesn't know how to tell jokes. And so he says stuff. It's very dry humor. I think he's kind of telling a joke sometimes. But anyway, yeah, the Canton Triangle, no justice, no sense, no science. I might put like an extra space between where it says Canton Triangle and no justice right there. Maybe put the Canton Triangle. Make that maybe a little bit bigger, Canton Triangle, increase the font, and then put a little space between there. That would be my thing. And I'd like to see how that looks. I may not be settled upon that. So anyway.
the Canton Triangle. This is senseless. No justice, no sense, no science. What? Oh my God! I don't think you're going to get published with this, but who knows? I mean,
Yeah, you can self-publish.
I got to stop and look at comments, guys. What do you guys think about
Didn't
that title?
Didn't you do that, Pevin? Didn't you self-publish?
What do you guys think about that title? I'm actually looking. I can see chat now. I hadn't been able to see chat for the last while I was talking to him, but I can see it now. So, what do you guys think about that title? I mean, it doesn't even make sense. You're just throwing out three things that you think are part of this. No justice, no science, no sense. I mean, you could throw out all kinds of no's out there if you want. If you're just trying to, a triangle implicates.
Do we have a
these
request?
Three main legs of
No.
an argument, for instance, to stand on, and so
No.
from their perspective, why wouldn't they say something like no evidence or something like
No.
that? It just seems like these randomly put these things down here. Yeah, I'm not so sure if this guy's actually a writer, but
Oh my gosh, dude!
Book
He's
cover.
wearing
For my book.
Broken
So
Baker.
just to
He specifically said he wore the grifter T-shirt because it's a whole joke. You know, I mean, he's. What is YouTube? I mean, am I a professional broadcaster now? No, yeah, we went to the tax place yesterday. He gets done. He says we owe with the IRS money. White Rabbit says, "Who owes that money?" The dude threw me under the bus. He's like, "Oh well, it's coming from him." I was like, "Wait a second here." Nobody said anything about that. I thought I took that. I was like, "I got a bunch of stuff, man. I got receipts, man. I got receipts. Microphones cost money." Anyway, I'm just gonna start. I'm sorry.
those friendly people have said I'm an idiot because I haven't wrote a book. I actually this is my second book.
I've never said that. I don't.
The whole point is, am I professional now because I pay taxes? I mean, what makes you what's a YouTuber? Are you a broadcaster? Are you a television? Are you radio? What's a publisher? Now I've got Twitter. I've got like 50,000 tweets. That's a book. Am I an author?
You don't need to be a writer to review somebody else's book or their writing. So I never said that about him, nor would I say that.
Book I'm working on.
There
So,
she is. Hey,
how it
wait a
is.
second.
Okay.
But
There's my favorite Hollander, Dutchman. It was a joke title. I made it to make fun of him, but now he spends time on it. Well, yeah.
yes, that's actually one of the questions. How many interviews have you conducted with the people you describe in the book?
I wouldn't know how to put a number on that, but one of the problems that we're running into here is I have talked to.
Wait, so I'm not supposed to
witnesses.
go tomorrow?
For example, I'll reveal this here. I have had lunch with Brian Higgins, talked to him fairly regularly, and at one point got a butt dial for Brian Higgins. But I treat everybody objectively. You try to get.
What's the obsession with butt dialing? I don't know anything about this. And also, isn't that kind of hard to do with modern phones with the flat screen and all that stuff? Diane, I'm late. Better than pregnant. Oh my gosh, yes, it's better. I'm late, but that's better than pregnant. I was really glad I didn't have that on reload. That's the secret FKR meeting. Yeah. No, I've accidentally called stuff like in my pocket. That's not my butt, you know? There you go. Let's see. I thought I saw another one here. Did I see one? Am I missing it? Sorry, I thought I saw another comment I wanted to grab.
get to the story and try to find out what happened and then match it to the evidence. A problem with many, not only witnesses, but also with just people in Canton that know the witnesses and know the story and want to talk about it is everybody, and we're not going to go deeply into this because I know you don't want to, but everybody, it's a fact, they run into, they're terrified of this
Diane,
mob.
have you met
Because anybody that disagrees with this mob,
Ashley?
and this is where I started from in this, is going to be
Oh
attacked.
my
even
gosh,
just
I
for
didn't
asking
see that,
questions. So in the
Ashley.
summer of 2023, after reading Turtle Boy's article, I began looking into this case. Now, at the time, I didn't know how to get documents, didn't have any documents. And I'm trying to watch his face and trying to understand what he understands. I mean, it's we'll go back a little bit. Like, what is he seems so perplexed, and I don't understand this. Like, no matter what side you are in this case, I'm telling the truth about what this mob does. And it's not actually intelligent or reasonable or honest to not recognize that there's a vicious mob out there and that is trying to silence anybody. I mean, you've already had the situation
So
where
Baker's
that
now
mob,
part of a vicious mob.
when Turtle Boy doxed recently Hank Brennan's his home and his number, they tried to bother him. Turtle Boy gave up my number, and people were calling me at all hours of the night. And it's just a simple reality of the matter. But for some reason, watch his face. He can't really process it objectively. You try to get to the story and try to find out what happened and then match it to the evidence. A problem with many, not only witnesses, but also with just people in Canton that know the witnesses and know the story and want to talk about it is everybody, and we're not going to go deeply into this because I know you don't want to, but everybody, it's a fact, they run into, they're terrified of this mob. Because anybody that disagrees with this mob, and this is where I started from in this, is going to be attacked even just for asking questions. So in the summer of 2023, after reading Turtle Boy's article, I began looking into this case. Now, at the time, I didn't know how to get documents, didn't have any documents. And you like to highlight on your Twitter the fact that I said, hey, listen, I was ignorant about all of this stuff, forensic data, autopsies.
No, I never said that on my Twitter. I just say you're a fool because you read it.
Okay. So, if you don't, I don't have his Twitter open in front of me, the quote, and he's going to pull it up in a second. So when you don't, it's not lying when you're paraphrasing something off of memory. So what he did was, I had a quote in the book.
So now
said,
he's
hey,
defining.
I'm not that smart.
He's defined this,
and I didn't know.
He's defining his lies. That's exactly what he said. I'm not saying he lies, but he's saying it's not a lie when you misquote something, dude. Okay, please, man. This is the frustrating thing I think that so many people are having, is that you're not consistent. You're not consistent with what you're saying. You're not calling. You can't call Baker a liar and then go in and say, well, you're not lying because you misquoted something. I mean, again, don't call somebody a liar unless you have something very specific. You can actually demonstrate to prove that somebody's a liar. It's not. It's a harsh word. There's a. I mean, why would I intentionally do something? I don't lie. I mean, that's one of my things. I can't. I'm not smart enough. Oh my gosh, you guys watch this enough. You guys know that I can't remember a lie. I had a friend of mine in college. He had a legal pad he kept with him when he talked to his girlfriend. He wrote down what he said to her because it was called the legal pad of lies. I coined that phrase. But anyway, he wrote down so that way he would remember. I was like, why don't you just tell her the truth? He's like, because she wouldn't like that. I was like, I don't think she likes the fact that you lied to her, dude. I think that's where the big problem's going to come in. You just tell her the truth. Well, anyway, ends up, the truth was he was telling her lies about where he was spending the nights. And it was my fault, but that's okay. Let's see here. Hang on real quick. T-Rex. Baker's perplexed because he can't comprehend how someone can have a rational conversation and can come off this pompous. T-Rex been hanging out with Zach, man, using the big words. Pompous. I like that. Thank you, T-Rex. You are a mob, Freckles. And Diane, oh hey, gifted 10 memberships. Thank you so much, guys. There should be a link in the membership thing. Go click it. Go to Discord. Hang out. The chats. Discord had a problem the other day, so I restricted it down until Dollywood's over with. It's going to kind of stay that way, and then I'll have time to look at it. Returning all invoices on Sunday at 9 to find out if you're the next person to attack and block. That's the Free Karen Reed group.
No, I didn't know about forensic data, autopsies, blah, blah, blah. I've had to learn this. And he took that selective quote, put it on Twitter yesterday, knowing I was coming on today, and said, finally, he said something true or something to that effect. Again, I'm paraphrasing. I don't know exactly what he said, but that's the gist of it. There's no point denying it, but yet he's going to try to deny it because whatever, it's what he is.
In the total opposite way of many a time
you're interrupting me.
Because you kind of claimed that I said something, but right. Go on. You didn't know how to do a FOIA and you didn't know how to do it. So then you ran into the mob.
This has nothing to do with a FOIA, but he's trying to get in his little digs here. So,
how is that a dig? How is?
If you just stop making all these straw men. It's a really bad.
I'm not making any straw man. You highlighted.
You said that I on Twitter claimed that's a straw man. Move on.
You highlighted. It's not a straw man because he did do it. That and put it on your Twitter. All right. But anyways, and you said this is the one thing Kevin has told that is truthful.
Yeah, that's when you called yourself a fool.
Yeah. So now he's agreeing that I accurately portrayed what he said, but yet he's calling that a straw man. It's not a straw man if it's accurate. This guy is so dumb, it's unbelievable. That's not what I call myself. Dude, you're not very good at this, are you? I don't know what to tell you. You're not. I'm going to.
I am apparently trash.
I don't know if you're trash or not. I can tell you're not good at conducting interviews because you could have an opportunity to ask me questions and get information out of me, but you don't want to ever let me answer the question. Now, I tried to honestly portray this. I don't have the quote in front of me, but obviously you took my quote where I said I started out this case ignorant about many of the relevant things. I'm not from law enforcement. I'm not a forensic data analyst. I've never done an autopsy. I don't know how the police store evidence and things like that. Those are things that I had to learn, and I have learned them, through working hard. But during the course of 2023, I was asking questions. Now, I started out covering this case leading towards the conspiracy because I accepted what was given to me.
Debbie
in
called all
of
this
a lot of it seemed to be the kind of thing that couldn't be disputed, such as the 227 search for how long to die in the cold. I ignorantly thought data was just data. I didn't know that the state was going to dispute that and had their own experts. So at the time, I was like, maybe something really happened.
I ignorantly thought data was just data. This guy's never watched a trial in his life. Hey, dude, experts are there to tell you what they are, all right? They tell you what you're looking at. They tell you why. Oh my gosh. Listen, I can casually start asking people in public. Gas stations, pharmacies, checkout lines, anything like that. But hey, let me ask you a question. What do you think about this? In campaigns. So those of you that know, I used to do my first career was in politics. I was a campaigner. We're out there working a campaign, right? And you stop to get gas, and you ask the attendant, "Hey, have you ever heard of this person, or how do you feel about this issue or something?" You ask about 5 or so people, give or take. You kind of get a feel for how everybody thinks in that area. Now, is that scientific? Nope. Could you use it for anything? Nope. Just an observation I made from experience. But my data ain't data. It's my stuff.
Happen here. But I was always asking logical questions about whether a conspiracy theory that posits where the killers are going to put someone still alive on their own lawn to die in the cold. Now, as I continued to ask harder and harder questions during the course of that summer, the crowd started to turn on me.
Now you know why I'm an 80% female channel.
Questions. And so this is a phenomena. I've talked to many lawyers, and many, many people that won't put their name out in public or won't get involved in this case because they're terrified of this mob. And it's not because they're pussies, because most of them have family members that they're afraid will be doxxed or they'll go dirt digging. That's been a huge part of the phenomena. I'm not saying you do that. I don't know anything about you. But that is a huge
keeps
part
saying,
of,
I don't
of the
know anything
phenomena
about
of
you.
what has gone on in this case. Now, what I was saying in that statement there is that I am ignorant of all those things. And I've had to go into learning how they work. And I've done a lot of the job doing that. Now, the people in the Freak Aaron Reed side, probably you, but I don't know. I'm not going to straw man you. You hear something put out by the defense, and instead of looking in to find how it actually works, you go, aha. And then you run off and you get your 20,000 subscribers.
Well, I'm only about to reach 15,000, so, but still. All
right, so here's the quote that he put in there from the book. It says, you have to understand, this is me talking. You have to understand that I'm not that smart. There's a strength in knowing that. I won't be applying to lecture at any college or trying to build a better mousetrap. I can't fix a car, remember everyone's name at dinner for 5, or put up a shelf, at least on level 1. And then I go into more talking about what I was explaining. But this is how petty this is. He's not trying to seize on this and put this up on Twitter. It's just petty. He's not taking a serious effort to this. Honestly, this is what I say. When you look at stuff like this, let's put it this way. Let's say Turtle Boy wrote a book and Kate Peter did a review of it.
I'm not even sure.
And I was watching her do a review of this on YouTube. And she was trying to resort to petty little things like this. And she never would, believe me, trust me. But if she did that, I'd be like, even though I'd be rooting for her, I'd be like, oh, no, don't be petty. Go to something real. If you're going to something small and petty, it's an indication that you don't have a strong argument.
Barnyard Sally with
and
the Betty
like
boot.
when you're a kid in school and it breaks down and the other kid says, well, your mama wears high boots. It's because you don't. That kid doesn't have a strong argument or any argument. And this is what we're seeing here from Broken Baker. He doesn't really have any objections to my book. He points out to the cover. He points out to me to this meaningless quote here when I'm trying to say, yeah, I do have limitations about what I know. It's actually, I won't be applying to lecture at any colleges. I can't build a better mousetrap. I can't fix a car. I do have trouble remembering everybody's name at a dinner for 5. And I would not be able to put up a shelf, at least not a level 1. All of that is accurate. And you have to be self-aware.
Holy cow, so, Broken Baker know that?
I'm probably not very good at. I certainly couldn't do quantum physics, right?
Holy cow.
But that's part of the journey of this case, though, is that you don't have to be brilliant, but you have to be willing to ask honest questions and be logical and be meticulous about just simple questions. Like you have to ask that question, would it really make sense if when you see this conspiracy theory as put out on day 1 by the defense and by Karen Reed on April 18th?
Man, I don't even know the guy. It does. 100%.
Does it make sense for the people inside the house to take someone that's still alive
to put the kids to bed? Maybe I'll make
again,
my first butt dial tonight.
To put them out alive,
congratulations,
to die on their own lawn. Now, those are just logical questions. You don't have to be able to put up a level shelf in order to ask that question. But Broken Baker has probably never asked that question or anything even similar to it. So
I'm sorry, what was
maybe
the question?
He could put up a level shelf. Great. Maybe that's what he should stick to.
This is your actual quote that I highlighted, that you are not smart, that you are strong for knowing that, and that you can't fix a car. Not what you just claimed. So again, Strawman 2.
I'm not quoting it. Do you think I'm going to quote it?
You just said that I posted up. But back to the book. Back to what I was actually asking about.
And it's not a straw man, because if you read the book, he knows immediately when I followed that paragraph there, and he took an isolated piece of it, was that I was explaining, as I just explained to you, that I'm ignorant about all of those things. I recognize that, and I get to work trying to get to the bottom of the questions. And this is somebody actually sent me. Let me see if I can find this here. ChatGPT does not keep your older searches anymore, even from earlier in the day. That sucks.
Why does that suck? Why does that suck? Is it going to be hard to write your next book?
From this person. this was something I had heard
Holy
of.
cow!
But okay, all right. I forgot the name for it though. So it's called the Dunning-Kruger effect, and this was from Penny, but it's a great thing. So it's kind of an effect that it fuels why people believe in conspiracy theories. Let me pull this up on ChatGPT. I'll have to make it search again. And it's actually good that Baker brought this idea of me recognizing this up. All right. So the Dunning-Kruger effect is I'm reading this off ChatGPT, is a cognitive bias where people with lower levels of knowledge or competence in a specific domain overestimate their abilities. Essentially, individuals lacking expertise may mistakenly believe they are more skilled than they actually are. Interestingly, those with high expertise sometimes underestimate their own competence, as they assume tasks that are easy for them are easy for others too. This phenomenon was named after psychologists Dunning and Kruger, who first described it in 1999. Their findings highlight how self-awareness and metacognition, which is being able to evaluate one's own thinking, play a crucial role in accurately assessing one's abilities. So, and
does he understand what he just read?
this is the difference between me and Baker, and between me and most people in the free Karen read. So if you go back to what the definition is.
Does this guy even understand what he just read? I'm going to take this moment, this break, to let you guys know. Broken Baker is coming to Dollywood FNL. It's going to be a great time. If you're in the area, come hang out with the Broken Baker. But also, we got to pay for this little shindig, this little FNL thing. If you guys don't know, it's Friday Night Lives. Friday night, be here, be square. We got to pay for like the shindig. So what we're doing is we're selling dates with the Broken Baker. Get your bids in. How you doing, sir? I bring you up? I brought you up. Oh, I didn't do the thing right. Sorry. What an amateur, man. What an amateur.
I get up at 2:30 in the morning, and this is what you give me? An idiot.
It's a fever dream.
An idiot telling me I'm an idiot, commentated on by an idiot.
Yes. Baker.
By the way, for those of you who didn't get it, the Camden Triangle, merch now available in merch store, is a joke. I thought I should have said I know 4 languages because I do speak fluent sarcasm. This guy, and of course because I am a member of the Free Karen Read, there is no Free Karen Read group where we have a secret handshake. Don't ever do this in Camden. I'm just telling you, if you know, you know. Yeah.
So T-Rex he's saying that you're stupid low IQ, and that's why you believe in conspiracy. And T-Rex says, I have to beg to differ and say that Kevin is low IQ because he can't see past his bias towards the state.
I don't know if you're that far in it, but I say that at a point where he says, well, it's unbelievable to believe in a conspiracy. You think the DOJ opened an investigation, spent probably millions looking into the Camden PD, the MSP, the DA's office, just because Dave Yannetti knows a guy who knows a guy. But saying the people in the house, you don't have to have every person in the house know what happened. And then you're well connected to the head of the local police and the lead investigator. It could never ever have happened. Never have happened. Never in history of policing has anyone shut up about anything. Expert, where were you in? Was it 1990, where a few cops said they didn't do anything wrong, and we got roof Koreans out of it?
Oh, that's the OJ thing, man. Yeah.
Well, the Rodney King stuff, but still.
Oh, sorry, I thought it was OJ. I don't know, but I do know about roof Koreans. They're tactical ninjas. Matter of fact, one of them is now on the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals out there. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, he's a Court of Appeals judge. He's very, very, very good. But yeah, the Rodney King stuff.
Yeah, there was no bad things done by the police in that case. It's totally impossible. But the DOJ working hand in hand with the defense team it's just logic if you look at it. I love that he confuses logic with "I had a thought."
Oh, now let me tell you, man, that is a common thing with people that drives me insane. I see it a lot, and it's almost like they treat their thoughts as words from
Facts.
deity. Yeah, super facts. Like they're not just facts; they're gospel, and they don't understand why you don't see it that way, and because it makes sense. It doesn't need to do anything else, but just makes sense. And they close their brain off to any other side of the argument. This today, watching this guy, because I knew yesterday it was great, man. I kept getting all these messages and stuff. I was like, everybody had such a good time watching that. I was like, you need to see the rebuttal. And I have nothing against him. I don't know the guy. And I started playing, and I let everybody know, like, listen, Baker's my buddy, okay? So I'm always going to be Team Baker. But let's just see what this dude has to say. And it's funny, what was that mindset you got to think about? What is that mindset there? He left your show, and like a couple hours later, he decided he couldn't sleep through the night unless he did his own show.
No, he went straight after. He cried on Twitter, and before I closed down my show, he was going.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that close.
He had it prepared because he knew that he wouldn't win, and then he jumped straight on his YouTube, because I told you this morning. I didn't go into it with ill will. I knew it would end up in a blood sport, because this guy is a disingenuous debater. And I knew I would bitch slap him, because he has nothing. Then I'll make a straw man and say you're lying, and Free Can Read and Turtle Boy and all of that. He'll always spin it, and he never ever got to answer any of the questions, other than he didn't want to say he had legal counsel. He had multiple conversations with witnesses, but witnesses won't talk to him. And he got a butt dial from Brian Higgins. Which is interesting, because Brian Higgins is also a witness in this case. And every witness have a gag order, so if he leaks stuff to him, that could be interesting. That could be discoverable evidence that they could now ask for on his phone. And he knew he would lose this fight, because he loses every single one he goes on. But because he is a genius in his own mind, he made a stream where he then said, "Look, I don't understand why he has that perplexed face. What I'm saying is truth. What I'm saying is truth. So why is he looking like that?" As I said, someone clipped me and said, "I look constipated in every single clip," because I'm standing there and I'm thinking, should I say, "No, Kevin, I said it before the show. I don't want to go into all of this bullshit. I just want to talk about your book," because I wanted to talk about his book. I admit I invited him on to slap him in the face verbally, because he called me a liar. I'm 100%, that's what I did. I have been honest on Twit and said his book is absolutely crap. No one can read it. But then I changed my mind and said, no, you're going to do it right. You're going to do it. I gave him the email saying, ground rules, it's just about your book. He came in. I was sitting in the green room. I wrote Jess at. It was really close to go time. I don't know if I can go back and see it. I think he came in like 90 seconds before we were ready to go. And you don't go in on a channel you've never been on. Normally you come in and say, hey, okay, what's the rules? Do I call you Kevin? Do I call you Yellow Cottage? What do you want me to say? Okay, I'm thinking we're doing 60 minutes. You know how it is when you have a new guest on, because, yeah, just lay the ground rule, try and just serve up a little buffet of, okay, let's be gentle here and let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, you get a repertoire because I mean, ultimately, and this is for y'all in the audience. Like what we do, well, Baker and I, we don't do it. I mean, because we know each other and we've done, got so many hours of this stuff. But when you have somebody on, you want to make them relax. One of the things like I've noticed when doing an interview with somebody is that they start off and they just want to tell you everything, and I'm like, well, hold on, and I'll ask a question that they're not prepared for. And it's very simple, you know, it's something about them. So it's like, so this morning this happened. You know, do you remember what you had for breakfast? You know, just something like that, something to get them to think outside the subject, relax, and know that's okay. I want them to focus on me, not the chat. So that's what Baker's talking about. Like you kind of catch that repertoire with somebody beforehand. You don't just go in there and just be, balls to the walls and just think that everybody's your enemy. And that's something I was going to ask you, Baker. Why do you think he was so adamant about not talking about his book?
It's because he knows it's poorly written, it's poorly researched, and that's why. And I thought about it because I saw that clip yesterday where on your channel, on the Glaris channel, where I say, is it factional or fictional? And that's when he blows up instantly. Instead of coming back and saying, yeah, it's based on facts, but of course I took some liberties here and there, and which I would have said, oh, interesting. Yeah, I can see it in your storytelling. But he knows if I had asked him about his book, he would have been an even bigger fool, because then it would be his facts that he claims is 100% true, that I would have said, but this isn't true. You know this didn't happen. Don't you know that this didn't happen? And then I would just dissect the crap out of his book, and then he would have to stand there and say, well, it did happen. No, Karen Reed wasn't at John's house before they went to see F. McCarthy's. And I don't know. He said he never watched my channel. He doesn't know me, which is fine. No one should watch my channel. I'm probably not that smart. But one thing I think you will agree with me on is I have a weird kind of brain. I remember weird kind of details from conversations we had half a year ago, streams I did. These are my notes I was about to do to use against him. I didn't look at one of them. I have this weird thing where I just store information and I don't know where it is. It'll just pop up and and then he starts trying to say that that's not what you said. Plevin, one of the things I hated most when I was young and drank a lot was I could remember almost every conversation I had, even when I couldn't remember my own address, because I just have a very good memory for that. That's why I'm a really good school student, because I can remember all the facts. So oral exams is one of my specialties, because it'll pop to me. And
yeah, I heard you're good oral. Right here is Greg. Greg nails this. He didn't want to talk about the book because it's nothing more than poorly written, factless cash grab. And that's what you were saying. And he knows it. Well, that's what I want. Well, hold on. That second part is what I wanted to follow up with is the cash grab part. Were there, and maybe you know, maybe you don't know, was his book, is it kind of like the first one out?
There is another one. I found that out yesterday when we were investigating Kevin a little bit. There is another one that has 1 star or half a star, something like that. I don't know. I never heard the name of the author before. And again, when he the problem is he wants to be the intellectual lighthouse on the anti side. He's always well, I'm too smart for you, and he has this aura of well, I'm a really smart kitten, and all you other are beneath me. But the problem is he's not that smart. He's not even. And again, someone said having a good memory is being smart. No, having a good memory is just having a good memory, because I'm not that smart. I'm dyslexic, and I can't remember names or faces, but I have a really good memory for storing information like what is a Brady violation, what is a Daubert-Lanigan hearing. I can remember stuff like that. And the problem is he doesn't even know basic facts. And
Well, that's the thing. If you write the book, and I'd be the worst. First of all, if I wrote a book, man, I'd never get completed. But for an author, for somebody who writes a book, and this is your thing, you're gonna go out there, you should know it front and back. I mean, I shouldn't have questions about the authenticity of something. This is like the Oprah Book Club, It's like, were you really the author of this? And because when you have little screw ups in there, that's it makes you question the overall quality of the product. I just saw something here I wanted to ask you about.
that's why you have an editor, because
Yeah.
you get blind on your own product, and not only if you're selling certain good stuff. But
Do you know what this means, real quick? Sorry.
I just saw that Susan Harrington beat out Connolly for Canton Street Select Board. Yes, there was the Select Board is kind of like the city council in Canton. Susan Harrington is a late candidate who came in to try and break up, because it's the good old boys club. People you get on the Select Board. There was a very vocal person who supported Karen Reid called Rita, who tried to get in on the last election, didn't work, and now this person I didn't know she was elected because I should be sleeping. Do you know how much my mods are going to yell at me tomorrow? You always complain you're tired.
Just
Stop
blame me.
hanging out with the expert. The expert is bad
Yeah.
company.
Yeah,
It's just like talking to
Jamie
your
was
wife.
here until you got here.
Yeah, but that's, again, the restraining order. We
Yeah,
don't
that's
talk
right.
about it.
T-Rex, I get it now. I understand why Valhalla likes Baker so much. Baker's really good at these oral examinations.
Oh, I can't wait, because someone was, again, for a friendly site that's not a mob. It's funny how many hateful comments I have gotten the last few days. And I go in and put some of the highlights on Twitter. And I put up one today and said, well, I'm apparently stupid. And someone said, you suck. And I said, I don't suck. That one time behind the dumpster was because I was drunk and he said he loved me. See, that's a way better insult. It's funny as well.
Yeah. Self-depreciating humor is great.
And again, if someone self-appreciates himself so much, no one calls me fat and an idiot more than I do. Do you think
Broadbone.
it's gonna? Well, Valhalla does too, but he's mean as heck.
Nomenclature.
It's he can't say a word without saying, "Well, I don't speak stupid" every time we talk to him, and that's the funny thing, that all of these people, because they are so hateful, they are so engrossed in this environment of we must hate others. They sit in every chat. I don't know if you have seen any of them in yours yet. I have shared it on my Discord, I shared it on Twitter, and I shared it on YouTube. But hopefully a few people will come over, not the hate mob. But they live
Thanks.
in that group dynamic to hate on the other side because they have sad lives. It's like the good old hooligans who went to football on a Saturday and beat up the opposite team because they had been in the mines for a full week, and now they had to go out and forget how shitty their life was, so they just punch someone else in the face. And that's why sport is great, because then you can go punch someone in the face and you're fighting for your team. But it's one of these group dynamics, and it's a very, very unhealthy group they have on the other side, because it's a hate-based group where we have fun, we try to make it fun, and we're not everyone's cup of tea. But I would never, that weird Dutch person yesterday, I would never tell people to go harass him. Did I think it's funny that Chrissy went over and flirted with him, and when
I went
made
back
fun
and
of
I
him?
watched that, by the way. Dude, that was so
You
great.
did?
Yeah, she gets on there. She goes, I want to know whatever that guy's name was. I want to know about him. And all of a sudden he started stuttering. And I was like, oh, this is great. This is awesome. Baker, I've said for a long time, it's like, true crime was an awful thing. LawTube is not far away from it. And you're kind of in both of those right now. And not on purpose, though. It's you're just doing your thing. You've always done. But this has become such a hot topic. And you see these people now, how they like you said, they hate on you because they just have sad lives. And it's weird. That's the part I don't like about YouTube. And that's the part where I'm like, look, just let it go, people. I knew I would see stuff like doing true crime where it was the way they attacked people, and they were big. They would brag about doxing people. Now, what's the point of doxing somebody? It's because they want someone to harass them, and there was even talk about swatting in that community at the time. And I'm like, holy cow, you guys, these are not good things. I don't understand that hate, and now you're beginning to get a taste of it. Have you ever had that, what the hell have I got myself into moment? That's when you showed up in Dollywood last year. What the hell did I get myself into?
No, but this is peanuts. Again, Plevin should have done a little research on me. I'm a two tour veteran. I had Serbian people shove shotguns at my face. I had Mujahideen shooting at me. I ran around fighting forest fires. We didn't even know we did fire drill exercises in a place where there actually was a minefield. I've sat with my trusty Neuhausen and thinking, that 5-year-old kid that stands on the front wheel and his dad, where I can't see the hands, that is trying to do something that I can't see. Do I have to do the big thing to a 5-year-old? Do you think someone calling me an idiot really rocks my boat? I wasn't even elected to city council when I got my first death threat. I was butt naked in the wellness area of my gym once when 3 guys came in and, hey, aren't you the guy who ran for that political party? I said, yeah. I said, come on now, guys. We're gonna beat you. Yeah, but let's get some clothes on now. It'll get really homoerotic. I'm not your typical little, oh, I have a YouTube channel. I think I'm a big, strong man. That's why, Skinny Buddha?
Yeah.
Do you ever doubt if anyone said it's go time, he would be first in line?
Yeah, I don't think. I think if a person hit him in the head, I think they would hurt their hand.
Skinny Buddha would tip a car over to protect you.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
he would never say it, because you don't have to be boisterous if you can tell. And if you see Skinny Buddha, he's the most fun-loving guy, but if he needs to go, he will go, and he will go fast. The problem is all of these little assholes, they can't go, and they don't have any successes in their life. So they can sit behind the keyboard and say, well, I told that foreigner. Why, by the way, foreigner, are you racist?
Yeah, I know,
Is it
that's
my
the craziest
blue eye and
thing.
blonde hair?
Dude, he doesn't even realize, man. Like, I'm sitting down here going, but you're a Yankee, man. Sorry, Dan. You know I love you. Well, okay. So when I said that about like the way you see true crime people act, and the, your answer was based in reality, based in real life. They don't really have they don't have that experience. And I think for me, the problem I saw was because it's kind of one day, because got started on Twitter, right? And I had all these tweets, and it was politically based and all that stuff. And for me, Twitter was like a video game. And it's like playing Space Invaders, I'm shooting back all the time. It just, as the little guys are coming down trying to get you. Like Galaga. I'm just playing Galaga on Twitter. And, hey, Volstorm's here. And, but some people take this as so serious. I think that's where my thing was. I was like, this is weird. Why are you guys, because like Karen Reed, she doesn't exist in my world. I don't know who she is. It's just, I don't know. It's crazy, but they ought to just relax. And
No,
he
but again, you're more of a Hales guy, and you haven't. I don't know if it's my connection that's a little bad or something, but it's
Mine?
But you're more in the Hales group, and I don't know anything about that. And when I come in and look on that from the outside, you're also sitting there thinking, why is there so much noise? And then you go back and think, oh, in my echo chamber we have the same amount of noise. And I think it's just, again, people get really, really passionate because they're bored in their own life. They don't have any thoughts. And again, I don't say that I love my people who come around and see my channel, because I had someone come in today and say, well, I don't agree with that. And I said, that's perfect. This is not an echo chamber. My channel is not a safe space. It's a space where you can come in and you can say, I'm going to follow this case with you because normally I'll follow it with the expert, but he only sees it this way and won't listen to another side. I said, oh, well, welcome. I might have a different opinion, but let's discuss it. And I think
I would love to be
there's
able
so
to have
much
that.
echo chambering going on, and that's a big problem. We need to be open. Yeah, I'm just going to try and refresh because it feels like I am lagging like hell.
Well, I mean, my power went out last night, so yeah, I was like, is he having a lag? Is that what are those things called? StreamYard effect? What's going on? But anyway, let's see here. So Karen Reed case is so consuming for you. Well, I think it is for a lot of people. It's gonna freshen up. I'll listen to you even though you're wrong. It's a good point. It's the way he is. I used to tell people that arguing over the internet's like being no matter who wins, everyone's still special. Yeah, that's what. Are you who Baker's been quoting? Hey, Camper for Life, how you doing? We used to do that for fun on the weekends. All right, here we go. And action. There you are.
Yeah, I hope
Well, I should do this way. I just realized.
But
I have
I'm
my camera reversed.
sad I didn't get to release my. Oh, it's still laggy. Maybe it's on your end. But I find it sad. Well, I don't find it sad. It's sad I didn't release my book because I actually have in my chapter 2. I'm writing about how the experience was getting into this case, and I describe it as first a lot of very interesting people start coming around, feeding you information out there that I had to draw a line somewhere. I didn't want to get lost in rumors and trust me, bro info. So I stuck to covering what happened in court and what was presented in motions. As much as Karen Reed coverage helped my channel grow, I didn't want to turn into a 24/7 Karen Reed channel. I needed to keep my sanity, so I kept covering my usual cases and only dipped into to the Reed pool when there was actual news. That meant I couldn't keep up with every single side story, but luckily for the viewers, there's plenty of great channels doing that. The second thing that happened, the Smurfs lost their mind. I call Pleven's side the Smurf because they wear blue. This is my book.
Is that true? Is there a color thing?
It's just, this is, he should have read this part. Is that color thing? Cover? I made a
they
cover,
wear blue.
It was just a joke.
No, you said they wear blue.
I read 29 pages of a book. There's the pink is free Karen Reed because that's her favorite color. So they started to show up in blue 2 days before the trial ended to back the blue. People who have more days in court than most lawyers have is backing the blue. But the part I wanted to read was, every day they scream at me on X, calling me every name in the book. Apparently, I was either a hired gun, still waiting for my paycheck, by the way, or some kind of special needs streamer who just parroted whatever Aiden said. And, well, if there's one thing you should know about me, it's that when you start attacking the baker, my brain just find it funny and fight back harder. I think they truly believe that if they screamed enough, they could change my mind. But here's the thing, calling me a fat grifter isn't exactly a compelling argument. Sure, it's true, I am a fat grifter, but it still doesn't change the fact of the case. And this is my entire mentality, and they should have read that little snippet of my book. Soon to be self-published and given away to a publishing house who will say, what the hell did we do?
I hope you I said do. I hope you do complete this book. And I really do. I've turned everything off mine.
That's just I have the stream running so I can see the chat. And I just lost connection, so it might be my internet that's a little iffy.
Do you not pop out your chat? You hit the little three dots up top, and it has an option to pop
but I have
out.
the StreamYard, and then no, I have multiple screens, so it annoys me. I have it the way I like it.
How many screens you got?
High enough.
I know.
Well,
hey, wait a second. Here's the thing. I like your microphone, right? Why do you not have a pop filter?
Because they didn't have any in the store.
Do I need to get you one?
No, I could just order it online. But every time I think, when you're sitting here covering a case, you get a little bored and you start online shopping. I think, I'm going to buy a pop filter, and then I go look for it and I find it, and I think, I'm going to go to the local store and order it so they get the commission because I like to support local businesses. And then I get on with you again and think, I need a pop filter. I should really get to the local store and order it so they can get a commission.
Well, I just wonder if it was like either you couldn't get it or if it was because of cost to import it. But do you have a little springy thing?
Isn't it built into
the
pop
I got a
filter?
little springy thing. No, it's two separate things.
Oh, I don't
have. I wish I had a little springy thing for my camera. Look what my camera does. See?
But no, my stand is.
Oh yeah, yours is just solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I use that stand now for mine.
This is just we have a kind of knockoff brand. I think all my stands are from them. So that's it saves a little in the back end. Don't have to grift us out.
Chat's like, what the heck just happened to the stream? Like, this is the interesting stuff that we like to talk about.
Yeah.
No.
But hey, we got to 69 viewers, so brown chicken, brown cow.
That's right. Well, listen, after watching the his stuff, I mean, it's the same thing. I think it's funny that he ran away to say he had to clarify what he said, and that does not inspire confidence in me for the rest of his knowledge. He should be confident in what he said at the moment. He shouldn't have to come back and then say, okay, now I got to explain myself to a different audience.
if he had if I had just been doing what he said, if I'd been doing what he does, just strawmanning him every single time, because he doesn't do anything but strawman. You believe this? I never said that. Well, free can read. I'm not. I don't have the membership card, and it's. But that's his debate tactic. Is I'm just going to put up a straw man, then I'm going to shoot it down, even though it's not not your opinion. But if I had done that to him, I could understand he was going back to his channel and said, "Hey guys, I really tried to have an open and honest discussion with the Broken Baker, and sadly, it was impossible. He had me there on a false pretenses. I really wanted to have an open debate on, because I've seen some of his shows. He gets these facts wrong. He doesn't understand this. And I wanted to talk to him about it in a civil way and try and enlighten him. Then I can do a counter stream. But when you're just going back and keep saying, well, he's an idiot. Look at his face. I don't get why he's perplexed, because it's facts. It's facts. It doesn't become facts because you claim it's facts. It becomes fact if you can prove it's fact.
So, when you say that, for some reason, it finally triggered. It kind of clicked in my brain. So he told you, he wanted to debate about the trial. He didn't want to talk about the book. Well, that's his whole thing. The whole time, that's all he tried to do was debate about stupid issues. That's not even why you had him on. You were there for the book.
Again, he sprung it right before the stream, because again, we would have had that 5-minute intro and say, okay, you want to have this? Okay, we can acquiesce to each other. I said, well, just the ground rules. I just want to talk about your book. I don't care about any conspiracy. I don't care about Aiden. I don't care about a mob. I don't care about Krusty or all of these side characters. I just want to talk about your book. Well, I think it would only be fair if you ask a question and I ask a question. I said, that's fine, but keep it to your book. I can't see why we should go and discuss everything. Well, I think it would be really enlightening for your audience if I ask you some questions. No, because this is an interview about your book. I'm here to try and talk about your book. I will be honest, I say I don't like it, but then you can defend it. And I said, I want to know stuff about why you chose to write in the style you did, because you can have different styles of writing. And I put this and he, yeah, but I think it would be really, really beneficial if I could ask you some questions. Well, brother man, you didn't ask questions. You just yelled your standard talking points that makes no sense if you know any. And for someone who doesn't, who's most people I see in chat knows about the case, but someone who didn't. Let's say
I'm probably the person that knows the least about the case.
Yeah. Maybe if you were there, it wouldn't have helped you understand this better. Him just yelling, "Non-human DNA." Well, that wasn't.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. I have no idea.
It means that there was a DNA analyst, or there was a crime lab tech who determined that it was non-human DNA. The defense said, "It says in the report it's a non-human DNA." Then they took a test on it again by another company, and it came back to be not a clear DNA sample because it was the mother DNA. So every descendant on the maternal line, it could be from the mother, it could be from John, it could be from his nephew and his niece. There was one hair found stuck to her car. And that's the big thing. A daily driver of a girlfriend had a hair from a boyfriend on it.
The first one said it was non-human.
Yeah, and that's what the defense said, and now they're using it to attack the defense and say they lied about it. No, it was the police investigator who said, or the crime scene lab, she did get in trouble and had to do her exams again. There's a whole backstory to all of this, Camden, that we can't get into, but the former crime lab tech ran a meth lab out of the crime tech laboratory. I don't see what's wrong in that. Need a little extra money. As everything is so wrong, the crime scene tech got sent back to training because she was so bad at her job. But because they trusted her from the defense and said it says non-human hair, they are now using it against the defense, saying you trust the popo. By the way, trust the popo. I'm following a case in the same courtroom right now where they're saying Cellbrite is 100% trustworthy. GPS, it's kind of not that trustworthy. What is Pleving saying? You can't trust Cellbrite if you don't have this special expert who doesn't work with tech. He's a sales rep for Cellbrite, and you can 100% trust GPS. Isn't it funny how they don't know anything? They don't know anything.
Well, no. Here's the thing. It's a tactic. You know, it's the Kansas City Shuffle. Look over there, and you're gonna get attacked over here. It's weird. Yeah, I say it's weird because, I mean, if it works, it works, right? But the prosecution should not have the appearance of unclean hands. They're the state, right? They are who, again, our system of criminal law is based off of innocence, because the king would get the king's court. They put, if you were arrested and you were on trial, you stood in a cage in front of everybody in the courtroom, a literal cage, like you're sitting there like an animal. You had to stand there all day long, sweating, and everything. Just, you looked guilty. And it's a, I don't know, man. It's just, it's just, I want, I want to do, I just want to get down and dirty and just say it's just trash. It's just trash way of doing things. And we get Greg here real quick. Says, Plevin's weak gaslighting attempt over what you said the judge did in Chambers was genuinely insulting. No, he did say he had that wrong, right? Plevin said he had that wrong, Greg. But still, it was so weird how he chose that as, it was almost like his style of debate was to attack things that were superficial to the overall argument, to make that point last longer. It was weird. But yeah, insulting. I like that. It's genuinely insulting. Bad Duck says, Salisbury steak with onion gravy, mac and cheese, whiskey, and a Coke. And my two favorite streamers. One could say I'm almost content with life. I like that. Whiskey and a Coke's the best part.
Who's what stream hasn't he been watching before he came over here?
Probably Valhalla and Dottie.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite streamers as well.
Oh my gosh.
No, but you're right. Again, he's no master debater, and he doesn't. But again, if you're the king in the small pond, but that pond is full with pond scum and idiots, it's really easy to be the smart one. The problem is when you cast your net in the big ocean, where there's small fish like me, there's big fish like Aiden, and you want to be impressive. How do you get your name out there? You can do the grind. You can go out there. You can try and work your way up and start to make connection and say, oh, this looks interesting. Could we have a discussion on this? Make an honest debate. And people can say, oh, yeah, that made me go, And maybe I should look more into that non-human DNA because it's super important for the case. Why did they say that? Or you can just start yelling. But there's a reason why his channel only grows the days where there's Karen Reed stuff on.
Yeah. It's well, okay, there's two thoughts I had. One, if he's on court TV, I mean, the guy, he ought to act like that and just run with it. But also the way he argues, that yelling thing. There's a thing that I've noticed that people, they have a fascination with lawyers and the law all that stuff for some reason, and they think they have an idea what it takes. And some of them believe that it takes yelling. Like, that's how you argue. That's how you win in the courtroom stuff. Where it's not, everything's settled usually before you walk in the door. It's all about the art of the argument in front of the jurors that convinces them to believe your side. Now, speaking of easy convincing, Dictionary Diva says, deep thought. Folks don't understand civil process anymore, and because of such ignorance and lack of decorum is the norm. Nothing exemplifies that more than Kevin's behavior on that book review.
Yeah,
And then
I should
Diane's-
I should buy the book to Diva and make her read it, and then she can do an interview because she's not anywhere near this. She would beat me for making her read the book.
Oh, yeah, that'd be like torture.
Yeah, but she's Irish, and I think she would love the way he described Irish people. He has a weird anti-Irish sentiment running through his entire book, even though he's Irish himself. Irish are two types of people. They're either drunks who dance or drunks who doesn't dance. It's such a weird... What? It's like a cartoon.
Yeah, I've never seen an Irishman dance. Dance, no.
Well, I've seen them fall downstairs. That looks like me dancing.
I think Bad Duck has just solved the mystery. He's Scooby-Dooed. He's Scooby-Dooed it. Yeah, it's, I don't know, man. The whole thing, it gets me watching his rebuttal video because he's not rebutting anything. He's just attacking. He's describing his attacks. So does he think they're that magnificent? And then also he tries to continue to insult you and put you down. And I don't know how that's going to affect, because people don't find you from, hate channels. It's just, I mean, they find you through blind luck. Usually is how it is. So where have you been hiding Ashley Lovelace at? She knows how you make a butt dial.
I won't go into. I won't imply anything at all. I just noticed a certain something. Every woman described in the book is, well, Karen Reed is a drunk who likes to hang out with guys. Every other woman is an athletic, skinny woman or motherly. Every man is, he used to play baseball. He's the kind of guy guys want to be. When he walks into the room, men stop and look at him. And I won't imply anything, but I'm just saying I'm 27 years old, and I know previous, if you were a male flux, some people wouldn't admit it because it was not socially acceptable. So they kind of repressed it, and you could kind of tell later because they had a weird way around guys. And I don't imply anything because I for one believes he was slaying tail and hunting kittens when he was a young man. He slayed. Like Dr. Turk today in my book, in my case, he was being ordered to bed every 5 seconds, even when it was time to ride the red roller coaster. So I'm not implying anything. I'm just noticing a very big discrepancy in how you describe people of different genders.
Yeah, I noticed that during the stream, man. I don't know who this guy is, and I didn't read the book, and I was like, there's some wild stuff there. Bad Duck says Kevin from Home Alone has more common sense. Yeah, he does. You see all those? How
He's an attempted murderer. Again, why are people always supporting the bad guys? The Jedis against a democratic elected government.
That's a good point.
Who's the hero in Karate Kid? Who used an illegal crane kick?
Yeah, right.
I'm just saying. Kevin McAllister was trying to... Two socially economic troubled men who just got out of prison. Yes, it's not correct to break in. And I know you have castle doctrine, but still he had multiple attempted murders. and arson.
You know, if you think about it, he made his house an attractive nuisance, which that throws out any type of defense. What I would
Yeah,
say.
it's like opening the garage and putting a pot of gold in there.
And you could even say that he planned doing this because he met them before the family left. He hid from the family so they'd be out of the house. He knew they'd be gone. And then he set up this wild display of traps to lure his prey in and play with them until I think the old man next door stopped him from committing the final act. He was ready to put him in that incinerator downstairs.
And what did he do? He
Yeah,
got
good
these
point.
people sent upriver. What did he then do? He searched them out in New York, where they were trying to start life again.
That's right.
And he attacked them
Oh,
again.
that's right. That's right. The second one. And you
Why-
can't trust anybody who steals a toothbrush.
Why is everyone always rooting for the bad guy? I just don't get it. I have Jedi. If it wasn't because she was really good at finding court documents for me, I can't support that rebel scum. I believe in democracy.
That's true. That's true. You know, it's an agenda by Hollywood. I think they try to put on this facade that, you know, oh, look, it's a cute little kid. But what we really want you to do, we want you to see how evil it is. We want you to accept this evil into your life. I see what you're saying, man. That's a good point. It's a good point. And you know what? This is a better conversation than anything I've written in that book.
Yeah. Again, we derail, but we derail to entertainment. You should we force Julio to read it? She's a law person.
Oh, yeah. Yodels. You want to read a book?
Yeah. She doesn't really, she knows
Oh
the
my
outskirts
God.
of the can read. So should we, we're
Yodels.
gonna send it to her. No, we're gonna buy it when she comes to Knoxville.
Yeah, she's got to come to Dollywood to pick it up.
Yeah, and then we say, okay, she can fly in early, and then she can read it, and on Friday Night Live she can do a rendition of it. I think interpretive dance is the best medium for this book.
How would the interpretive dance be? I'm thinking kind of like like seizures in a padded room.
Remember that weird Sia singer, the one with the half wig and who never was in her own videos and stuff like that. One of those weirdos. She had a lot of movements in her dances. I'm thinking that's the prologue. It's just.
I like that. Yodels, are you an interpretive dancer?
She's from
I'm gonna guess so.
California.
I know. That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say from her background, I'm gonna assume so. I love the California girls, man. They're all interpretive dancers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, listen, man. I appreciate you coming on and saving this because
I'm gonna go to bed and you can go back to this. And he's attacking Aiden today on.
Oh no,
Top
I'm
Threat,
jumping this off, man. Wait, hold on, that sounded weird. I've been around plumbing too long. Guys, listen, I appreciate y'all. Don't forget Broken Baker. What's tomorrow? When is the next trial date for
I am covering the Richard doctor, Dr. Turk, who took the stand today, did worse than expected, and really didn't land many hits. Let's just say sometimes.
Well, he had a good relationship with his wife. He talked to her all the time, watched TV, and had lots of sex.
Yeah, and then she slapped him in the face, and he thought, yeah, heck it, I'll kill her. But he forgot all about it. It was a blackout. Oh. And
Man,
then he woke. He woke up and thought, I'm just gonna chuck her in a pond because, hey, why call the police and say it was
there?
an
Why
accident?
not?
Well, it wasn't there. He had to drive like 2 or 3 miles to chuck it in a pond at a house they were looking at 2 years before. In his boxes, go back to the house to get his phone, put his pants on, then go home and try to self-delete.
Oh, he tried to?
Yeah, and he didn't remember an anatomy when he's drunk. Well, he did, but he probably didn't. Maybe he did. That's why defendants should never take the stand.
Yeah, when you said he was taking a stand, I was like, "Oh man, I gotta see this." And I turned on right at the right time. I was like, you know what? I need to go ahead and take my shower and just start. I'm just gonna go back to uploading videos. So, well, listen, man, I appreciate you. Tomorrow is what's the guy's name? Was it the
Dr.
case?
Chirk.
Chirk?
Chirk. Well,
Guys, this is a great case. You go check it out tomorrow. What time's it start?
I think 9. They just left abruptly today and then said be back tomorrow. So I think we're going to start at 9. Probably not very much cross-examination back, maybe a little bit recross, and then charging conference, and then hopefully closing arguments.
And Karen Reed, I heard there's still
Possibly
the last two
Tuesday.
jurors. Next Tuesday.
Opening statement is right now expected to be next Tuesday.
Well, there we go. So I have until then to figure out what's happening in that case.
Maybe Mo and I will have, because she needs a get up to speed stream. So you can watch
Check that out.
Oh, and I have to because I got more Camden Triangle merch. I will be having a giveaway stream this Saturday, giving away some of the logos that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make no sense. No, just it doesn't make sense.
Can you figure out that he was?
Get me that clip so I can present it. New merch line. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Oh my gosh! Oh, hey, by the way, I need to get your shirt size. Somebody wants it. And nobody, none of the regular characters want it either. They want to get you. Don't ask. You know what? I don't know if you know this or not, but I have a post office box, and so Valhalla's taking that over. And now evidently I'm getting stuff. I'm your tailor. I'm like, what do I look like? You guys know I don't even answer emails. So what are you doing getting me to do this stuff? Anyway, yeah, I got to work on it too. I've been saying that for a year. Guys, thank you so much, Broken Baker. Go check him out tomorrow. And Baker, you got a wrench. Put your thing in the chat. And guys, love y'all.
You told me I couldn't show it on stream. That's the only reason you would have me on, if I didn't show my thing on stream. And now you want me to put it in chat?
If you make it quick.
No, because because I was looking to see if Valhalla is live, so you can read.
Yeah, he is. We're already going to it.